All right, so I'm Adar. This is Jack. We're with Viking Magazine at Palo Alto High School, and we're going to be discussing some of the recent boxing events, some of the future boxing events, and just our thoughts on it. So I thought we should kick it off with just recapping the Tyson Jones fight and the Tyson Jones card. So, what were your thoughts on the main event?
Um, I thought it was pretty cool seeing two former boxers going at it back in the ring, and yeah,
I
what
mean,
about you?
like, I definitely enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to.
Mhm.
It definitely looked like Tyson still kind of had it. It looked like they were in shape.
Yeah, because I had seen some videos of him training before, and I was actually kind of surprised he was still doing that at 50.
Yeah, for real. It's crazy. I mean, especially considering that Tyson hasn't fought in over 15 years. Roy Jones has been in
Hmm.
there, I think, 2 years ago was the last time he fought. So it's not like he's been out of the ring that long. And honestly, let's be completely honest. The biggest robbery of it was the fact that they called that thing a draw because Tyson
I
won that
know.
outright, not even close.
Yeah, it was rough.
Yeah. How did you feel about the no knockouts clause? I think you could definitely see that like they weren't trying to knock each other out, and Tyson was hitting him a lot harder to the body than he was to the head.
Yeah, I think that changed the game a little bit, but overall, I don't know how much it would have affected the fight because I don't know if a knockout would have changed anything.
Like part of me wants to see them trying to knock each other out because that is the sport and that's boxing. But also, they're both over 50. I don't know if we really need.
Yeah, I feel like it would have been a little too much.
Yeah, for sure, for
Mhm.
sure. I
I
think.
feel like this was kind of just an opportunity for them to get back in the ring and
Yeah,
do what they love
yeah.
doing.
Do you think Tyson's gonna fight again, like another person after this?
I'm not sure. I could definitely see it though, because he looked pretty good out there.
Yeah,
So I wouldn't be surprised if he wanted to do another fight.
yeah. I mean, I'm sure he's making really good money for it, and it sounds
No,
like the pay-per-view
definitely.
did really
That
well.
that's
So.
always a big plus with these celebrity fights.
Exactly, exactly. Tyson's really turned it around. I think I was listening to some podcasts, Chael and Joe Rogan, talking about how Tyson was pretty almost broke, and then he met his new wife, and she's also doubled as an accountant for him, and he's been doing a lot better financially. He has
Mhm.
Tyson Ranch, and he's really big in the legal marijuana business now, and so he's doing better. And I think it's good to see a legend like Tyson really get his financial life back on track.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
I think the craziest thing from the whole fight was the whole night was the Jake Paul
I know that.
savage.
Even though that was the fight before the main event, I kind of feel like that was almost the main event.
Oh my goodness. I just don't know what's worse, Jake Paul knocking him out or just how terrible at boxing Nate Robinson is.
I know. Because coming from the NBA, being an elite athlete, I thought that he would have put up more of a fight.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I was expecting it. It was evident that he had not trained, did not know how to box, had no skill. And say what you want about Jake Paul and celebrity boxing in general and YouTubers boxing, but he's training. He
yeah, he
knows how to
actually looked pretty
box.
good out there too.
Yeah, that combination, like at the end, like that was that was a nice combination that he put him down with. But oh my goodness,
And the backlash of it too. Have you been
yeah,
seeing
it's
all the
crazy. All the
he's
memes and yeah,
been getting gassed on social media.
yeah. Nate Robinson is definitely it would not be a good time to be Nate Robinson right now.
Definitely
Uh,
not.
I I guess I don't think he will ever do that again. I don't think he will
Yeah, I
ever.
think I definitely think it's a one-time thing for Nate Robinson after that outcome of that fight.
Yeah, but do you think they should have stopped the fight after like the second or third knockdown? Because
Mm,
I think it was
I
pretty
think
evident.
I think the thing is, looking back on it, it's kind of hard to tell. But I feel like in the moment, I feel like it would have kind of felt like you were cutting the fight short, if you would
I
have
I
ended
agree with
there.
that. But oh my goodness, the final knockout was brutal.
Yeah, that was
They
definitely
scraped
that
that
was almost
man.
a little scary too. He
Yeah,
was like,
face down, just out.
yeah, face down on the ground. You never want
Yeah.
to see anyone like that.
So how do you feel about the celebrity box? Because let's be honest, Jake Paul, Nate Robinson. Jake Paul's maybe an amateur level fighter. Nate Robinson, no skill, no aptitude, but they're celebrities. How do you feel about them being them fighting in the first place, them being the co-main event to Tyson Jones or yeah, the Tyson fight, which is crazy. And then they were above Badu, who is one of the best fighters in the world. They were ahead of a legitimate boxer on the card, their placement on the card. They were the co-main event against one of the best technical boxers in the world. How do you feel
Yeah,
about all
so I think with events like these, it's really a lot about like the publicity and how many viewers they're going to bring in and how much money they're going to bring in for each fight. So if it's two celebrities like Jake Paul and Nate Robinson, you know that's going to bring in a lot of money for
that?
um yeah, the boxing
Or,
match. So I
yeah.
think that's kind of can play into how big the events are and
But how do you
like
feel about it? Like from like a personal standpoint, do you think it's wrong? Do you think it's
personally,
support?
I understand it. I could definitely see how people think that like the higher quality fights should be the main events, but I think in for me at least, my opinion on it is that I think that the fights that's gonna bring the most viewers and is gonna bring like the most revenue
Yeah.
should be the main event because that's what everyone wants to see.
I mean, I can definitely get behind that. And if you look at the way the contracts were actually written up for the fight, the disclosed purse for Jake Paul and Nate Robinson both was $600. So they're being paid up front, literally $600, which is nothing to these guys. But they make all their money. They make a cut of the pay-per-view. So depending on how much money the pay-per-view brings in, they're being paid off of that. And I think that's, smart to say, look, we're going to give you nothing up front. It's about your ability to draw, and that's what we're going to pay you off
Mhm.
of.
Yeah, because especially with celebrities like this, they can use their platforms to kind of endorse the fight,
Promote for sure.
and
I
promote
mean,
it. Yes.
it's huge with Tyson regardless, but I honestly I think a lot of people were talking like Nate's going to knock it. Like people legitimately thought Nate Robinson was going to win that fight.
Yeah, and honestly, I heard about the Nate Robinson and Jake Paul fight a lot more just in the
Yeah.
media.
Yeah, I think to the diehard fans of boxing, which I don't claim to be a diehard fan of boxing. I mean, I'm a big MMA fan, but boxing not as much. And to me, I can definitely understand how someone who's a diehard boxing fan has been boxing their whole life would be super frustrated about it, and it feels like they're
Mhm.
making a mockery of their sport. But for me, I would honestly rather see the Jake Paul fight than like a
Mhm.
random title fight with two guys who I don't know. Like the fight before it with Badu, that was the first time I'd ever heard that guy's name, but he's one of the best boxers in the world. And honestly, I'd rather watch two celebrities, two trash talkers, two YouTubers go
Yeah.
freaking
Mhm.
slug it out and fight.
Yeah, because one interesting thing about these celebrity fights is it's really like unpredictable what's going to happen.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
I don't think many people thought the fight was going to go that way. I think a lot of people thought that Nate Robinson was going to put up
Yeah,
more of a
he's
fight.
he's an elite athlete, and Jake Paul just
Yeah,
simply isn't. Like
I
Jake Paul
know
was like
it's
I think a state placer in Ohio for wrestling, and that's the highest level of it's tough. Ohio's a
yeah,
tough state for wrestling.
because also personally I like took Nate Robinson in the fight,
Yeah.
like I
Oh
I
yeah.
was
Same.
expecting him
I
to
thought he was
win.
gonna wipe the
And I
floor.
think a lot of people were too,
Yeah,
just
for
since
sure.
he's been like shown that he can be an elite athlete with his NBA career.
Yeah, for sure. And then I think the natural segue is just yesterday, Logan Paul, Jake Paul's brother, was announced to be fighting Floyd Mayweather,
I
arguably
know.
the most
When I
technical
first saw
boxer
that,
of all
I thought it was crazy.
time. I mean, I'm excited. I'm gonna watch it. Like,
Yeah, because the one thing that about this fight is that like it's not really like it's not apparent who's gonna win. Like
yeah, you would think
it can honestly like it could go either way, I think.
you want to say, oh my God, Floyd, he's 50-0. He beat Canelo. He beat even McGregor. He beat Pacquiao. He's definitely one of, if not the best boxers of all time. And he's
Mhm.
very arguably the most technical and the most defensively savvy boxer there's ever been.
No,
But at the
definitely,
same
yeah.
time, the heaviest weight that he's ever fought at, I'm pretty sure is for the McGregor fight, they fought at 153 pounds. And Logan Paul fought KSI at 199.
Hmm.
Logan Paul has 6 inches of height on him. He's got naturally just walking around 40 or 50 pounds on Floyd.
Yeah, that's where it really just
I have no
depends, you
idea what to
know?
expect because Logan
Like
Paul,
that's why it can be honestly anyone's match.
it's crazy. I want to say everything in me wants to say that Floyd is going to pick him apart and that he's just so much superior.
But the thing is, Logan Paul has the ability to just land one punch. You know, one punch can change it all. So
Yeah,
it'll be
it'll be
interesting
crazy.
to
So
see.
official pick. What do you think is going to happen?
Oh, this is tough. Like, I want to go with Mayweather, but I don't know. I can't have like a definite answer. You know,
Mhm.
like I'm unsure myself. But if I had to go with one, I probably have to go with Mayweather just because he's had such an amazing career and he's
For sure.
shown that he's been a great boxer.
Yeah. I think
How,
honestly, I have
yeah,
to agree
what
with
do
you.
you think about that?
I think he's just gonna pick him apart.
Hmm.
But there's a part of me, there's a little part of me that wants
Yeah,
to
I
see
know.
Logan
I
put one
definitely
on
get
his
what you're
chin.
saying with that. Like
Yeah,
I have that too. Like
yeah. That would be. Can you imagine? 50-0 Floyd Mayweather, first fight he ever lost is an exhibition to
yeah,
Logan.
that would be
It would
very
ruin his legacy.
disappointing. Yeah.
Yeah. And
This
then
fight is definitely going to bring in a lot of viewers and a lot of money, so
what do you
it'll
think
be
is
interesting.
next for Jake Paul?
The next Jake Paul's next opponent,
Do you have an opinion?
hmm, I don't know.
Do you think do you think he'll be fighting again soon?
I think after the outcome of that last fight, I think it's very possible. And
I think
also, I know he has a pretty big mouth, so I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to spark up something with
I mean,
another
he called out
celebrity.
Dylan Dennis and Conor McGregor. Dylan Dennis being one of Conor McGregor's main training partners, and I don't know. I don't know. I don't think he's getting the Conor McGregor fight next.
Yeah.
But there's just so much money in it. I wonder if down the line, like as crazy as it is to say, like 2 days ago, if you had asked me if Jake Paul is going to get the Conor McGregor fight ever, I would say no way, never. But
Yeah, but seeing someone like
Logan,
Logan Paul
yeah,
fighting Floyd Mayweather, like it's really anything
anything's
could happen.
possible. Exactly, exactly. I definitely think unorthodox as it is, I'm excited about this, new quasi future of boxing with,
No, I definitely am too. It's very exciting.
yeah. All right. Thank you
All
so
right.
much for watching us. You can
Viking
check out
podcast
Viking
from
Podcast, a
Jack
spin
and
off
Adar.
podcast. It's been us. It's been a pleasure, Jack. Thank you so
Yes.
much.